Currently, we're in Greenville, Mississippi, population about 28,000 or so. We're 110 miles north of Jackson, and we're walking on Rebecca Drive. And this is the street. We're on October 11th of 2022. 31-year-old Greenville Police Department detective Myesha Stewart was shot and killed. So 911 was called to a report of shots fired on this street. When she arrived, 29-year-old Camarcus Charles, who is the alleged shooter, had already shot a woman in the foot and a man in the head. The man that he shot survived, but sadly Detective Stewart did not, and he turned his gun on her and fired at her multiple times, killing her. Detective Stewart leaves behind a 3-year-old son. She had graduated from Delta State University with a degree in criminal justice. And this is the street, this is the area where it happened at. I couldn't find the exact address. For some unknown reason, it's very hush-hush about the house or something along those lines. But I want to say she was the only Greenville police officer to die in the line of duty that I could find anyways, at least in the last 40 years or so. This neighborhood seems pretty quiet, so of course it only takes one person moving into a neighborhood to just make a tragic incident like this occur. So currently Camarcus is in jail. He has no bond, and I have not seen anything yet in terms of what they're going for or what they're seeking in terms of if either a life sentence or a death sentence. But it all happened here. Also, for 1 year, Detective Stewart had played basketball for Delta State, and when she was murdered, it hit this town very, very hard. Like I said, there's only about 28,000 people here, so a cop's murder is something that doesn't happen in smaller cities such as Greenville. We're about 389 miles away from that location. We're here in Mesquite, Texas, to talk about another police shooting that involved an officer of the law tragically losing their life. So we get a call about 1:40 in the afternoon or so, December 3rd, 2021. There's a argument going on in this parking lot between a man and a woman. That man, his name is Jaime Jaramillo. The argument, well, him and his wife are getting into it because it looks like she's caught him having an affair with another woman. Now, that happens all the time. It's just, it's another day, right? You find out that your husband or your wife is cheating on you. Okay. So they're going crazy, they're arguing and screaming. So somebody calls the police and says that there is a couple and they are yelling like crazy. So Officer Richard Houston with the Mesquite Police Department, 21 years on the job, arrives on the scene. Now, Jaramillo's truck is parked right where that memorial is. So Officer Houston pulls up right here, and I'm imagining his lights are going on, and he identifies himself, and Yaramillo, sitting in his truck, pulls out his gun, and witnesses just heard 4 to 6 gunshots. Pop, 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 pop. Officer Houston is struck about 3 or 4 different times, one of the bullets hitting right above his bulletproof vest, right in the collarbone. That would be the bullet that would ultimately kill him, because the bullet, I believe, possibly ricocheted off of a bone and hit his heart and lungs. As he's wounded and he's staggering, he is able to pull out his weapon and shoot back at Jaramillo, striking him in the head. Amazingly enough, this guy lived. I don't know if that bullet grazed something and whatever, but he lived, and unfortunately, Officer Houston died. Of course, this is a memorial for him right here, and he was taken to the hospital where, of course, he later on died that very same afternoon. Jaramillo was quickly apprehended and arrested. Now, he was charged with capital murder because it involved the shooting death of a police officer, and I know his attorney tried to get it lowered to a murder, because Jaramillo claims that he didn't know who he was firing at. He just thought it was somebody trying to get involved, and he just decides, hey, what better time than now than to pull out a gun and just indiscriminately fire at anybody who is approaching the scene. Now, recently, Jaramillo was found guilty of capital murder, and he was sentenced to life in prison. Another story of another cop coming to the scene of a domestic violence altercation between 2 people and losing his life. That is the most dangerous call a cop can go on, is a domestic violence situation. That's why anytime you're fighting with your boyfriend or you're fighting with your girlfriend, if the cops are called, you must know that the cops are coming there probably with their guns drawn, and that would be the best situation for you to not make any sudden moves, because, like I said, police, they see these videos all the time, and unfortunately, as cops lose their lives, they become better trained because they learn from other past police officers' mistakes. So that concludes this video. It was just a couple quick vlogs. The other story has yet to be finished, so I'm still waiting to see what happens in that case. I will catch up with you on the next video. Be good, y'all. Be safe. Everybody, law enforcement and civilians. Peace out.